Alright, today we're going to be modeling the case for a USB dongle that I just repaired. This is a very expensive USB dongle, about $2,000. It was plugged into, I assume, a laptop or something, and the USB connector got ripped off of the end. It was broken off. So I was able to repair it, but it doesn't fit back into the original case it came in, a little plastic enclosure, so I figure we'll print a new one for it. Over here in Fusion 360, make a new project. I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a component that is the USB dongle itself, and then around that I will create a create the enclosure. Call that board. Make a new sketch. So I have my calipers here, and we'll kind of figure out what size to make this. I'll start with a square 484. 484 by 1. Let me make it the other way. I'm just going to move that so it's centered-ish. So the board actually is not a square. It is tapered on the end. So let's see where that taper starts. Almost exactly 0.4 from the end. So I'm going to make a line, make it construction. Go 0.4. There we go. Take another line, another construction line, and just do that. Okay. I can actually get rid of that line. Now this part, the taper itself, 3, call it 0.33. Yeah, 0.33. Let's make another line. I'll go from the center point up. 0.33 divided by 2. And then do another one. 0.33 divided by 2. Boom. Alright, now I go a normal non-construction line like that, and one like that. Good. Then, how far does this actually plug in? If only I had a USB port to plug this into. Wait, I have another USB flash drive I can measure. So how much USB actually needs to be sticking out? It's about 0.460, call it. So I'm going to take the entire length of this USB connector I have on here, 1.56, should make it I'll make it 1.56 minus, what did I say, 0.46. Okay, and then this height is I'll make it 0.484. It's about the same size. Let's see what it actually in real life is. 0.4 7.4. So it's 10th thou off. That's fine by me. I think I did the math wrong on this constraint. Yes, because this is not 1.56, this is 1.056. There we go, that looks a little bit more reasonable. Okay. So that's basically what we're working with here. Now let's get some thicknesses. About to make this 3D. So the USB connector is just shy of 200 thou. It's 179. So I'll extrude this to 0.179. That should give us, yep, looks about right. Gotta go back into the sketch. If anyone knows how to prevent that from happening, where it jumps out of the sketch when I extrude, please tell me. That would be great. And the board itself has some stuff sticking off of it, but the board is 37 thou. So we will that's not quite what it looks like though. The board actually sits about 70 thou. Hide that sketch. Let's see if I can do this where can I move that up? Yes, I can. By 7, well, it has to be negative, I guess. Boom. Okay, that's basically what our board looks like. That's the part that I want to be enclosed at least. This part over here is the front side of the USB plug. Yeah, quick save. I didn't save this at all, that's not good. It wasn't auto-saving, glad it didn't crash. Alright. So, now I actually get to start making the case that's going to go around this. The one thing I do need, this dongle comes with a little dog tag that gives you the license number and whatnot. And that's on one of those little ball chains. So I need to make sure there's a hole in the back side, for this ball chain to go through. So let's make a new component. Call this enclosure, and then make a new sketch. I'm doing the same plane. There we go. I can see a little ghost image of the board that I've already drawn. So I think I'm going to just kind of freehand this rectangle here. I like that it can snap like that. If you put your cursor at a point and then just drag off of it, it'll stay constrained vaguely to that point. Similarly this way. Very similar to how SketchUp works in that regard. So if I remember, my printer always prints a little undersized on exterior dimensions. I'm not sure it would follow that it would print undersized on interior dimensions as well. So I'm going to give this a little bit of room. I'm basically going to make it I'll center this later. Not snapping to the grid, so I'll guess I'll stick it right there. I believe what I can do, and I always get this wrong, is these constrained points. If I do this, and I do that's a click and hold, by the way, then I can go midpoint. Nope, midpoint of that. There we go. Yes, perfect. That did it. So that's now centered in here. Right. I like to make this a little contoured on the back end. So I'm going to do, let's make a construction line. So that's LX. Make a construction line that extends from here that way. And then here. That way, so they're the same angle. And then I think I can move these construction lines. Indeed. Nope, that is going to break everything. Oh, because of this constraint here. Delete that constraint. And also that constraint. Now I can move it. Boop. Just fine. And I'm going to grab this one, and I'm going to delete these two constraints. Move it. Boop. Just like that. Great. Now I can actually convert these to real lines. Go from there to there, from there to there. Good. Good enough. Now I need to draw a circle in the back end there. So this is boop, just shy of 100 thou. So I'll make it like 15. That's looking pretty good. A little close, actually. I can just move it. Nope, too much. That's looking better. Great. I think I can extrude this now. Ooh, except those lines are not attached, are they? Not quite. No problem. No problem. First, let's get rid of the fake line. You know, I'm just going to do that. Just drag it straight down and attach it. Do the same thing up here. Get rid of that line. Yep. And I'm just going to drag this. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, now we can go into extrude mode. Now I can extrude just that part. Right. So, I want the whole thing. I'm just eyeballing this here. Let's see. The whole thing is just shy of 200 thou thick. So I think if I make it, oh man, 3,500? I mean 350 thou? Yeah. Looks about right. Cool. I'll hide the board. Now I need to split this in half, because it's obviously it's not going to fit like this. I want to do it like kind of a clamshell, and I'll just glue it. I think that's the best way to do it. Oh, I forgot what feature actually over here. So there's a feature here. There's two holes on this face. And I want to use those kind of as locator pins to lock everything together. So I'll make a new sketch on that face. There we go. And again, eyeballing. Well, not eyeballing so much as using a caliper, a guessometer. Those are approximately 141 thou off of this back edge here. So make a construction line, 141 thou that way. The circles are, let's see, 112, 112 thou. And actually, I didn't measure from the top, did I? Nope. Let's see. From this edge, they are 115? Yeah. 115. I didn't quite nail that. I can do this, I guess. And then move the whole shebang, right? Nope. It's not going to work. Delete that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this, actually. Says 150 down, and a circle to across, but I'm not going to make a construction. Boom. Okay, now I'm going to use a little trick here. I'm going to use a rectangular pattern. I'm going to make 2 of them. And they're going to be center to center. They're going to be 238.238. Oops. Two in that direction, 1 in this direction. And it actually needs to be negative. Boom, 2 holes. And then I will just grab these 2 and negatively, no. Negatively extrude them. They don't actually go all the way through. Well, this isn't quite the right shape. Let me show you what I'm actually working with here. Bought these on Amazon for $8 whole. Let's see. Bring it up here so you can see this. That's what it looks like. So I didn't quite model it correctly, but those are the 2 holes we're looking at. 2 holes right there. Works really well. I'm not using the plastic that they included because that wouldn't fit over the thing that I built. So here you go. Alright. Anyway. Let's open up, let's bring up enclosure. Let's go back actually to the entire thing. Great, okay. So what I'm hoping for here, move that kind of like something like that. Yeah, that looks good. Something kind of like that. You know what? Let me do this. Let me hop into this. Let me just take this end and just extrude that out, because that is what it's going to look like when it's done. What is the size of this? It's 0.45, right? Close enough. 4.6 something. This is just for looking at. Okay. Hey, look at that. Looks like a USB drive, doesn't it? Cool. Now we have to get into the internal parts. So let me do this. Go back into here. Make a plane. An offset plane. How thick did I make this thing? Hang on. Let me jump over here. That extrude was 0.350, so whatever 350 in half is. Minus 0.350 O divided by 2. That's exactly in half. Now, I believe I do a splitting? Assemble... No, construct... No. Modify, there we go. Split body. This body. Splitting tool. This plane. There you go. Boom. Now I have 2 bodies. And then tough construction. So let's take this body. And I'm just gonna move it over here. So we can kind of get an internal view of this once we turn back on the board. Yes. Yes. So this is the one, this is the bottom part. This will have the pins that'll go into these holes here. Worried about this is too... This being too close. Let me measure here to there. It says it's 0.048 inches. That's on the angle too. Ugh. If I can this again from this point to this face. There we go. That's 0.43. I don't like that. This feels a little too tight for me. Luckily, we can go back in. Let's go back into the sketch that made this. This is something I really like about Fusion. I can do something like that, and then this. There we go. I will have to extend these out. I'm not really worried about this being super precise. And then it updates all my 3D stuff. So nice. So much better than SketchUp in that regard. Parametric control. Okay. So if this one's centered, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to make a sketch. And then I'm going to oversize this a bit. Okay. And that basically goes, that's going to be extruded. And that gets extruded back to, yeah, basically back to where that is. Give it a little bit of breathing room again because of my 3D printer. It's not the best 3D printer in the world. There we go. Then I need to make these two pins in here. Ooh, that's weird. Why did that turn black? Weird. Alright, hide that, do this, create sketch. Boom. Turn this back on. Basically just do, let me actually do a, so let me do another circle. Do a 2-point circle. That, and that, boom. And that, and that, boom. Great, easy. Now this doesn't need to go all the way through. It basically just barely needs to go through. Let me measure. Man, it needs to go through like 30 thou. Like 30 thou. shoot, I accidentally extruded, yeah, I cut this part in half when I did that extrude. Let's see, operation cut. Don't cut those things. There we go, good. Again, loved being able to, so the way I did that, I double clicked on this extrude, and then I changed what objects to cut, and I didn't actually name these, but I see that it's part of the component board. And I didn't want to cut the board, I just wanted to cut the enclosure, so left that on. But now it's giving me a warning. Project reference. Oh, some edges are missing from something that I did. Oh, probably in this sketch. Indeed. However, everything else is still there. So, oh, I was referencing an edge that no longer exists. Don't matter. Because I'm just going to do this, do this, do this, do this. Not that, this. There we go. I said 030, right? That's all I need. Boom. Pins, locating pins. Doesn't matter that that sketch is throwing an error, because it just means I can't go back and edit these now, because they're referencing geometry that I deleted. By accident. I accidentally deleted it. Actually, no, I deleted it by accident on the first time, and then I re-added it, thus deleting it. Hope you understand what I'm saying. Okay. So now, let's look at this face here. I want to extrude this as well. Do a cut on this as well. Turn that back on. Basically gonna take, it just so happens that this board is the exact same width as the USB connector. What just so happens, they built it that way so it would fit in the USB drive. So I'm just gonna grab, same thing, and go down, no, not quite that much. Like to there? I'm just eyeballing all this stuff. This is gonna be a fast print to make, so I'll just print another one and redesign and print another one if I need to. Extrude that. Back. Let's actually turn this back on so I can see exactly how far back I need to go. Go to there, and then yeah, I'll go to there, and then I'm actually going to do this on the top, the rest of this, because of the weird geometry. Let's pour it back on. Gotta see. Draw a line from there to there, and then to there, and then this is very non-scientific. There, great. Then I think I can grab that. Yes, I can. Extrude that. I'll hide this body again. Extrude it to. I wish it would snap like that, but it will not. Well, I'm gonna extrude it, and I'm gonna take a measurement of that. That is that's 18 thou. So I'm gonna come back here, turn this extrude, go 18 thou, negative 18 thou. Boom, now it's flat. In fact, I'm going to actually edit this extrude to not come back quite so far. Quite so far. Okay, further than that though. Nope, not that extrude, this extrude. Let me get rid of that. Get this out of here. Thing is that it won't show me the geometry that I made after this. Question, can I reorder these? Yes, I can. There we go. Now I can actually dial this in. Hide this board again. There we go. Oh, these lines don't quite line up, actually. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to edit that sketch these are based on. Ah, yes, I see. Where'd that go? Hang on. Undo. Oh, there we go. Okay. Move it to there and see if that breaks everything I just did. Not quite. That side looks pretty good. You know what? I might just rebuild that sketch and do it. You know what? I can't move that sketch, though, because these are extruded based on... What are you complaining about? Yeah, let me undo that move. That seemed to have broken everything. You know what, I can live with that, honestly. Or actually, I could just delete this extrude. Yeah, you know what, that's what I'm doing. Delete the extrude. Go in here, edit this sketch. Move this extrude over here. Edit the sketch. Bingo, bango, bongo. There we go. Delete that constraint. Move this right there. Haha. I'm winning. Gonna delete that. Dope. Now I'm gonna extrude. What was it? 18 thou? Negative 18 thou? Indeed it was. Cool, cool, cool. Alright, now my body, my board, will fit in there nicely. Now that board actually is slightly thicker. That's just the, how do I even say this? The periphery? It's not even, that's just the thickness of the board. The board itself with the components is thicker than that. The actual thickness, thickest part of the board is 145.145. Oops. 0.145. So 145 divided in half. I should actually change both these extrusions. Negative. Yeah, that's more like it. Yeah. It's about half and half. So actually I should have done this extrude differently. It's gonna double extrude it, I guess. There we go. Cool. So now that actually fits the board with the components on the board. This is the bottom part. Ooh, you know what I realized? The bottom part also has an LED on it. So, and actually, that's actually not the bottom, that's the top. If we're plugging this into a USB port, because that'd be the part with the pins on it. Okay. Well, let's just drill a little hole here for the LED. That is right at the edge there, and it is a very tiny LED. Hoo boy. The LED is 50 thou. It's right there at the edge. So let's turn this back on so we can kind of see where the board lands. Let's do a sketch. Glad it puts it back in the right orientation. Let's do a circle. You know what I should have done? I should have put this whole thing on the center line of the drawing. Oh well. $50 thou in diameter. Based on my eye hole it's kind of right there. Doesn't matter if it's offset. Not really. We can still see the whole thing. Still be able to see it. So I'm gonna take, oops, not what I wanted. I wanted an extrude with the sketches. What is, oh, sketch, oh, haha, that sketch is on, there we go. I just, you know, go crazy. Boom, there it is. I could have done this a different way. I could have made a hole, done the hole command, but I don't really need to. So pretty much I do a similar thing over here. Yeah. A similar thing on this side. Okay, so we're going to, let's turn this back on. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Looking good. Let's turn some sketches off though. Let's see sketches. Right. How now, brown? Okay, so if I grab this and I move it over there, is that centered? Yeah, it is. Good. Basically, just do the same thing on this one. Jump back in my enclosure. Create a sketch. Yes, capture position. Rectangle. And then extrude the rectangle. Turn my sketches back on. There we go. Extrude this until it gets there-ish. And remember, objects to cut, turn off the board. Okay, because the board does exist in this plane. Okay. New sketch. Basically, gonna take this to here, and then there. And then do some lines. Ah, there we go, parallelism. Perfect. You know what, that's actually, this is parallel to that. That's not quite what I wanted. That looks better. Cool. And then I'm gonna grab my extrude tool again. Turn off board. Grab this, grab this. Now, what did I say this thickness was? Man, 145. Negative, nope, not that. Is that cutting the right way? It is indeed. Alright, turn the board back on, boom boom. And that sure looks like it fits. Cool. Now, let me try making some locating. It's not going to work. It's too thin. Let me do a locating notch in here. So I'm going to get rid of this, go back into enclosure, grab this. You know, let me call this bottom. I'll call this top, so I can remember. Take the top. up over the bottom. Yeah. Alright, so I think these walls are too thin to have locating pins, but I think they're okay to have locating notches. Ooh, look at that, that's not quite the same size. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna extrude that. Nope, 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 nope. Ugh. Actually, I'm gonna measure this. Inspect from here. What? Get out of there. Ah! To there. That is 3 thou. Extrude that. 3 thou. Ooh, that's not quite 3 thou. Or that's actually a little bit more than 3 thou. 3.3 thou. Okay, so I cheated fine. This is a little ugly, especially with that thing. But this will work beautifully right here. You know what I should have done? I should have done this whole thing, then cut it in half. That's what I should have done. Oh well, live and learn. Make sketch. I'm gonna take a line. You know, I'm gonna take a rectangle and do this with it. And then I'm going to extrude that through there. And then I'm going to do extrude this again. See if that worked. It did. So now that belongs to the top. In fact, I need to extrude that the proper dimension. 43. Cool. And then I will do the same somewhere on this side. Sketch. Okay. Okay, and then sketch back on. Hide the top. Oh, which one? But this is actually the same. Nope, not quite. Good enough for me. Alright. Boom, there we go. We have our two pieces. Last thing to do, I think, is to move this. Let me get a nice view here so we can actually see something. There we go. And take the bottom. Save it first. Take the bottom, move over here, and then 180 it. And then align the bottoms. Align bodies from this point to this point. Cool. And I grab that, and then just move it over so that's so that they share, you know, a common ground part. Okay, I think that's about it. You know what? Let me do one thing. Let me just chamfer these edges. Oop, not that much. Actually, not chamfer so much as I want to fill it. Yes, fill it. Just to make it pretty looking. That's pretty. And maybe a slight fillet on that edge. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. Fillet. Oh, you know what? That was the wrong fillet. 3D fillet. Why not? Do I want to fillet these back? Yeah, sure, why not? Make it look pretty. How far can we go? All the way. No. That looks fine. Cool. Cool. Now we get to make 3D print. Select this, select this. Select that. And then I think I still need to tell it where Cura lives. Doesn't have a built-in for Cura, so look disk, I think. No. Well, to make a Cura 3.5. Cura. Open. I know there's 351 just came out. I haven't installed it yet. But there you go. Boom. Say 351. Yes, I know. Yep, that's not the way I want it. Rotate. Doop, doop, doop. Doop. There we go. So it looks like on layer view. This is going to be mostly a solid piece of plastic. There's very little infill here. It'll take less than an hour, 40 minutes, 4 grams. What's the highest res we can do? Ultrafine? Ultrafine. I'm going to take it ultrafine. We'll keep those. 2 hours and 29 minutes for ultrafine mode. That's a little ridiculous. Go back to this one. You know, but you know what? I will add a skirt to it. Skirt? No. Brim? Yeah. Or raft. These are going to be hard to pull off because they're so small. That's the one I want. Okay. 43 whole minutes. This actually underestimates the time usually. Usually takes significantly longer. Not significantly, yes, several minutes longer. Okay. I'm going to save this as a G-code file to USB dongle enclosure. That's my Google Drive, so that'll send it over to my shop, and I'll be able to print it when I'm back in my shop. Cool. Might as well save this as well. And there you go. That's it for this. I hope you learned, a little something. All 2 of my live viewers, thank you. Just under an hour to design and build this. I could have built it a little differently. I've never really done any kind of clamshell type of enclosure like this with the 2 halves. I think I learned some things. I think I'll do it as a full piece and then cut it apart at the very last step. I think that's what I'll do next time. But thanks for watching.